Hello and welcome to Other Film Photography. So today let's talk about the technique that I mentioned to you guys quite a bit, which is the Multiflash. The Multiflash is basically using the flash to burst many numbers of times during a period of time that you can set. You can use that technique in many different ways. I like to use it as dancing in studio and doing some sequence of shots, which is not exactly a sequence of shots, it's a sequence of flashes that comes in only one frame. And by the way, this technique can be applied on both film and digital. I like to use it on film just because of the look it gives it, but it's a useful information and it's a useful technique for you even if you're shooting digital. So feel free to listen and try for yourself. So the first thing that you need to understand is how to set your flash for the Multiflash. Basically, nowadays most flash heads, speed lights or studio flashes, they have the mode for Multiflash. It's going to either be called multi or it's gonna be saying RPT. In that mode, you're gonna have basically two options that you need to work with. How many times you want the flash to burst and the frequency. It's kind of a bit difficult to explain in depth what the frequency actually does. What is important to know is that for the number that you set as how many times that you want the flash to burst, you set the same number for the hertz. That means that if you set, for example, 4 times at 4 hertz, you're gonna have 4 bursts in 1 second. If you choose 8 bursts at 8 hertz, that means that you're gonna get 8 flash bursts in 1 second. So my advice is to use that way because it's easier and simpler to understand and to set the camera for the shoot. Another thing to mention that is really important is that the higher the power, the less numbers you can blast in that 1 second or whatever time you decide to set. So you need to adjust the number of bursts for the power that you have. The biggest the number of bursts you want, the lower power you need to put it on your flash. Just keep that in mind, that you know how to set and how to achieve the number of bursts for the power that you need and adjust your light and your camera settings accordingly. Another thing to say is that in the case of film cameras, some old film cameras might not be able to handle the Multiflash. So if this is something that you want to use it, make sure that your camera can use the Multiflash. So test your camera before. It's not a hard thing to test. You get your flash and you do it on spot and you know if it's possible or not. So some details or some tips that you need to know for the Multiflash. The idea is to make sure that when you're shooting on a dark place. The reason that is because any spillage of light that you have on your room, in your environment or anything in that sense, whatever place you're shooting, if you have some spillage or any other light, it's going to show the light trails. So if this is something that you want to use for your photography and wanted to make that very well defined, for whatever number of bursts that you want, you need to make sure that you are in dark. Otherwise, you're gonna show the light trails throughout the picture, and that might not be what you want. Another thing is that because the shutter is open for a longer period of time, make sure that you're using the tripod if the image definition is what you're looking for. In my case, on the pictures that I take with the dancers and everything, I want a lot more of the impression of the dancing, so I'm not worrying too much about a little bit of, let's say, camera movement because I'm handhelding the camera. That is okay for me, it's not a problem. But if it's something that you want to make it very defined, then make sure you use a tripod, otherwise you might not get what you're looking for. So last week, to make this video happen, I went to the studio with Eva and we took a few pictures of her in the studio with a film camera, with a medium format, and we did the multi-flash in there. This is what we got and how it went with her. Multiflash is something that you can use to explore your creativity and to explore a new technique in general that you can use for many different purposes. And I was lucky enough to have some of my previous multi-flash pictures in an exhibition in Portugal, which was actually my first exhibition ever. So it's a brilliant technique. It's really nice. You can use it on the, for some artistic purpose. You can use it for, outside pictures, and your creativity is the limit on how to use the multi-flash. So I really strongly advise you or suggest you to try it out, see what you can get, see if you like it, see if this is something that you would like to keep using for the future, and who knows, you might end up with a picture on an exhibition or in a magazine or something with that too. So if you like this video, please give the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, activate your notifications to know everything that is happening on the channel. Also, please leave your comments on the section below that you can keep the conversation going. For the time being, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!